Hey Christina, thanks for the videos on the EA. I think you pretty well got the idea. I've brought up the Wanda here, 1 hour chart, the Euro, same chart as you showed me in the video, the second video, but I think it's a little bit out, so I'll just run through and see if I can answer some of your questions and show you what I mean. As you can see, I've put some of the lines on the chart here now. Where my cursor is, this candle here, I'll just say this is a new buy. That blue line is my point of entry. There's my stop and reverse at this level. So there's my point of entry. There's my first high. So we'll just continue on from there and I'll show you what I mean. So when I say bring the yellow lines into play, it just means they're becoming a part of the sequence, that's all. So there's the second one. Now, you ask about me talking about breaking through to move the SAR. See how prices come up to this height, then drop down. As there's only two yellow lines in play, I then also use the blue line. Prices come down. It doesn't have to close below this blue line. It just has to break down through it. So you're right when you say the low or the high. Then what I mean by coming back into the lines, see they've come back, not necessarily closed in there, but at least come back in there. Previously what I used to use, which I think would be too hard, I'll just show you, was a trend line from the high down like that, just roughly across the top of the candles. And once price broke over that trend line back into the yellow lines, then that signified the SAR moving up. So I just move that SAR up, it's only a little bit there. So I'll just get rid of that trend line. I'll see if I can. So now we've got a new high. So there, another new high. There. Now we do the leapfrog because it's still going up. See, this is where I'd like a trailing stop in place. Just looking at that there, you know, we've got, you know, it's getting up close to 100 pips already. I would hate to lose that. So that's why I was thinking about a trailing stop. New high there. And see how price is still amongst the yellow lines. New high there, just. Now, I'll just make sure I've got these lines the right place. See what happens here. Pretty well price drops down and doesn't pull back at all. See if this one here, I'll just make it a little bit bigger. Where are we? Yeah, if this candle here was a little bit higher and went into those yellow lines, then I would have moved my SAR up to there, because it would look something like this. You'd have your highs coming down there. Just a trend line. It's not exact, that trend line, but say for example if that yellow line was there, then if it broke in there, just doesn't have to close in there. That's what I was talking about in my original email. I would be considering using, say, after it breaks down and goes in 1 or 2 candles after before I move the SAR up. But you would obviously 1 or 2 you'd be well and truly gone by then, because it only went 1 candle in. But that's not the way it happens. So we'll just continue on. I'll show you what I'm doing. Alright, so just make it smaller. I don't like the big chart, sorry. Yep. Alright. So we didn't get a chance here, and it's just dropped down, back down through our SAR. Alright. I'll just go to the same sort of example you were showing on your charts. I think you had entry up here somewhere. SAR about the top. I'll just quickly put the right, looks something like that. Then we've got the leapfrog. Leapfrog. Now on your charts, I noticed they came up, and with your lines, because you're obviously not using Oanda, this candle actually came into the yellow line. Again, I'll just move this to show you for example. So it's gone out of the yellow lines, then technically it's come back in just by this tail here. And again, if I was trading this manually, I would see that, and just to clarify it, I'd probably put like a rough looking trend line there. So any price I can see on this side that's back into the lines, that would, to me, that would bring that level down to there, that high. Now I just say that's what did happen. We'll just run through the trades again. So now we're to the, because this now becomes the entry, that moves down to where the lowest yellow line was previously. I'll just put the blue line in there. All these other yellow lines are out of play at the moment. So there, and there again we have a drop down below the blue, then back up into the lines. Oops. So that would just move my star up. Yellow line, yellow line. Right, now all four yellow lines are in play. Yellow line. Here again, prices drop down, and I can see just see that little tail there. Then back in. That is a SAR. Now we're locking in profit, which is good, because there's a profit. Back up, and bang, she comes down. So now our SAR, take our top yellow line down to the bottom of the candle that gave us our entry. The red line is now SAR, moves up to where that yellow line came from. Our blue line is our entry point. These other yellow lines are out of play until we get lower lows, which we do. There, and price is moving around, but nothing happens there. And just for good measure, so bang, prices go out, nothing we can do about it. You know, in an ideal world, if I was trading this manually, I would have moved my SAR down to there. It's just an obvious sort of high, but that's not going to happen on an EA, obviously. But then again, I want that trailing stopper be nice. You know, look at that low there, 125 pips, not bad on a 1 hour chart. This is basically a breakout system, so we're catching the breakouts. And how we used to trade this when I was a part of a trading team, three of us used to do this full time, 24/5, and we traded 3 pairs, and all we did was aim for 200 pips total for the week, then we stopped trading. So if we had 70 pip profit on one pair, 70 pip on another pair, and 60 odd pips on another pair, we just closed all the trades, and that was it, done for the week. Sometimes we're finished by Monday lunchtime, other times it's still going by Friday night. So yeah, it's just too hard to monitor by yourself. And look at this market, up and down like that. That'd be terrible for the system without using some discretion. That's why it would be nice if a trailing stop could be implemented. And like I was saying in my example, in my email about the 4 hour charts, it was great, just going for 200 pip targets. But then I was played with it recently where I was splitting up the profit targets, say taking 1/3 of position off at 100, moving the stop to break even, then waiting for another 100, taking another third off, moving the stop to plus 100, then just letting the third run as per the normal rules. So hopefully that'll clear up your questions. But with regards to breaking down through the lines or up through the lines, it's the high or the low of the candle. And when I say come back into the lines, it only has to be a little bit, it doesn't have to be a close above them, it just has to get back in there. And that's what I was thinking. Say if you're just looking at this example here, just ignoring the colour of the lines, prices come down, the low's broken that blue line, so that's our lower line, and price has gone back in. Yeah, that's what do they call a fractal or fractal, whatever. And that's basically what we're looking for. Yeah. And also in your first video, I wasn't really sure what you're talking about with regards to the first trade. Where is it? Like in this example, where was it? Going back to the beginning here, sorry about this. Right, there's our buy trade in here. There's our SAR. First trade, I would just follow, I would manually follow this buy. I'd like to put the EA on the chart now, get it ready, and set my SAR, my initial entry as a sell at that point. I could do that manually, that's no problems. I don't want to use any indicators at all, so I just want to be able to look at the red line and say, right, first trade's going to be a sell and it's going to be at that level, and I just keep on working the trade as per normal. Now obviously it's moved up, so I'd have to change it manually. Maybe a pain in the butt this, but that's just the way it's going to be, I think. It's still a sell, still a sell, still a sell. Alright, and say for example that was it, that was a turn, I did move my SAR up, then I set the EA so it's a sell, whatever position size at that level. That's my next trade. Then the EA takes over. We go from there. I hope that makes sense, but yeah, I'm not really sure about. I've got no problems putting in a manual start off, choosing direction, price and position size, obviously. So yeah, hope that helps. I hope that clarifies a few things for you. Thanks very much.